This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome, punters, to an early edition to the Cranbourne Cup. As always, I'm joined by Matty. How are you, Matty?
Going well, thank you, Wim. How are you, mate?
Yep, going well. I keep thinking today's Thursday, and I'm bloody getting excited, but it's only Wednesday. So we thought we'd do a runner-by-runner preview of the Cranbourne Cup because it looks a very good edition this year.
It definitely does. It does. So nice to go runner by runner through this one.
Yeah. Last week, I don't know if we can call it Champions Day after the results that went down. What were your thoughts out of it?
Look, it was sensational to have all those horses at the one track. Disappointing not to see Private Eye, Nature Strip, or Animo get the chocolates, and probably a little bit disappointing. A few of those races towards the end of the day race a little bit favourable to those in front. Alligator Blood, Zaki, those types. Both of those were different racing patterns, both leaders, but one was a faster tempo than the other. But yeah, you couldn't really see too many of those making ground. When you see Animo try and wind up at a 300-metre mark and run up and down on the spot, you know no one's going to make too much ground.
Yeah, I think his sectionals were really good home, Animo. He just had to do a lot of work from the 1,000 to get in. But I thought J-Mac made the wrong decision letting Mwanga in. Then he was a pair back. I think he should have just hunted up. I don't think he still wins, but he finishes a lot closer. But might have been an end of prep run. Nature Strip. Oh, geez, he looked in trouble at the 500. He did really well to hold where he did. Just a true fighter, but geez, I'm a bit concerned. Maybe a break might be better for it coming back from Europe.
Yeah, it wasn't probably the best lead into a spring heading across to Europe, but wow, I don't think the owners would change that for anything. Rockin' Horse, I mean, it just keeps on keeping on, doesn't it, Rockin' Horse?
Yeah, he loves the straight. It just shows that Newmarket win wasn't a fluke. I'm convinced of that now. You can't do that twice. That's just wrong. I think we've all underestimated the horse. Levante. He went well, finished fourth or fifth. So it just shows that Newmarket has stacked up. But there is one horse out of that Newmarket that didn't run this prep, and I'm interested to see how he comes back. Is Artorias.
Coming out Artorias a little while.
Yeah, I think they've done the right thing. I think they've seen what happened with Nature Strip coming back. And he was in quarantine, set to run in the big races, and they pulled the pin pretty quick. So I reckon it might be the smart move, and Artorias might be the big improver next in the autumn.
Yep. Fair to say Artorias definitely owes us a couple.
Oh, yeah. We'll keep backing him. We'll keep getting sucked in by his naughty tactics. But no, he's something I want to follow. Because as I said, the Newmarket is holding up surprisingly.
Yeah, and I thought the race of the run of Saturday was a tissue, and wasn't it found? Absolutely crunched to a starting price of around about 240 from I think it was about 550.
Open tens.
There you go.
So someone's lost their job. But no, it's as I wrote in the community, I'm like, who's with it? And why? Because I couldn't get my head around why everyone was just backing this like it hurts. And we can see now why, but I didn't think J-Mac, obviously 10 out of 10 rides, sat closer where the previous runs have been out the back. He smashed them, or she smashed them.
Absolutely. And what about the Queen's Cup?
I'll have to blow my own trumpet. It went to exactly plan. It fell out of the gates, sat last, and I know a lot of people would have been worried about the 800, but I'm like, nah. I know what I've seen, and I know what it can do. It maybe put two strides in when I went, and then he just kicked into gear, and he did what he should have done. I can see why this horse was favourite and now favourite to the Melbourne Cup. If he takes any improvement out of that, oh my God, we could be seeing Cox Plate Melbourne Cup.
Yeah. We were as excited as Jack Rewalt.
Oh, yeah. You got to love the owners when they get a win. They get excited. Good on them. They've probably paid a lot of money being Frankel. But it shapes up to be a good spring, maybe autumn, with White Marlin doing what it did and Salcombe what it did. Like maybe we've just got to keep buying these B grade stayers and bring them down here.
I'll just give them all to Waller.
Yeah, give them to Waller and or Gay. Yeah, I think that's the way we've got to get good horses in. We're not going to breed the stayers. They just don't sell at the sales. It's all sprinters, milers, and I think that's what we've got to do is just let the big boys buy these B graders or go to the Tats Cup and buy them.
Yeah. So, what would the autumn campaign see for these 2,000 plus horses? An Australian Cup?
Yeah. Waller doesn't like to rush them, so I reckon he might go late in the autumn, even Brisbane maybe, because his rating's really poor. It's only it was in the 89s, I think, before that. So he's gonna have to get his rating up. He probably goes up a few after that to about a 95. So I reckon they'll be conservative with it. White Marlin, Gay, she'll go straight to the top with it. Sydney Cups. But yeah, I think it will incentivize to come back, think it over to come off an injury, Spanish Mission to come back. So I think we've got something. We've got a few good horses coming, which is good.
Absolutely. Anything catch your eye up in Sydney?
No, not too much. I didn't watch too much of it as I'm not a big fan of Sydney racing, but I reckon something caught your eye.
IME is probably the one that caught my eye the most. I know the stable Kiramar Eustace were quite keen on it. I think it's one that we'll definitely be able to follow moving forward. Ellsberg was sensational, really tough. And one that we might mention a little bit later, Pale King. I thought that was quite a decent win, even though it only won by half a length. But we might mention that one a little bit later.
Yeah, 100%. Pineapple of the week, Matty?
Private Eye. Yeah. Again, just didn't seem to run on towards the end of the prep, maybe. Look, you can make a few excuses for it. End of the day, I'll be handing the pineapple over.
Yeah, it was a weird. As I said in the community Saturday, it went 270 into 210 in one flap. Now that's scary, and that's what made me change my mind from my over on because he ran into a roller door in the morning, so he had to be vetted. So yeah, the money talked, but geez, it wobbled. It did a lot. Could have been end of prep run. I don't know if it's a 1,600 meter horse against the good Group 1 horses. That's just me. I think sprinting, geez, if they went to the sprint race, they might have been a better chance.
Absolutely. And that might just be something that the trainer and the owners need to look up for next campaign because it was exceptional in those shorter races.
Yeah, hopefully they do. I hope they stay to sprinting because we might be running out of good horses if Nature Strip's on his way back. But I still think Nature Strip can win a Group 1. Fingers crossed.
It just depends on what it does across the off-season, where it goes.
100%. Buying shares in or cashing out this week, Matty? Anything?
Might just pop in a few of those that I mentioned up in Sydney. IME, I think we'll be seeing it win more races. And also Foxfighter. It also got the chocolates on the weekend, and I can see it's winning quite a few more races.
Nice. I'm not going to cash out on anything. I'm going to buy a share in. I know this is going to be Sandra Sully with the late news here, but Nigel Carmody on .com. What a host he is. I reckon he's an exceptional host. He asks the right questions in the post-race interviews, and watching him on Saturday, I just reckon he was dead set 10 out of 10. And what an appointment he is for the company, because Richo moved to Channel 7, so he's not going to be on .com much. He's set a high bar, but geez, Nigel Carmody is dead set, exceptional host. I watched him with Jamie Carr's parents after Zaki, and it was just a really good interview with his parents, with her parents, sorry, and just asked the right questions. They were just so good. And then you turn to Channel 10 and you got Eddie Maguire around the owners of Zaki trying to pump him up after the win. I'm like, what are you doing, Eddie? You're not a racing man. Like, you're trying to be, but Nigel Carnamy, 10 out of 10. And I just want to buy shares in everything he can do. He just knows what he does. He calls the VFL. He should be calling the AFL. Yeah, I think Channel 7 and .com have got a very good host on their hands.
Good shout.
Track stats. Cranbourne rail 3 meters. I'll be looking for horses on speed. They normally just kick off that little tight bend at the end. Interesting, it's 3 meters though, like big cup day, and it's 3 meters. Why isn't it in the true? Is it because they think it'd be super leaderish on the rail true? 3 meters, most horses will get their chance, but you can't be worse than midfield. But I'll be looking for horses on speed. In the sprint races, I'll be dead set looking for leaders. They dead set kick on that they kick on the corner, and they're so bloody hard to run down. So 3 meters Cranbourne, look out. Trial trackers. I've found one here. Cranbourne, race 1, the 2-year-olds. Race 1, number 9, Remedies. Loved her 2 jump outs. Oozes class, $3.80 is a good price to get involved in, I reckon. I just hope Mark Zara stops celebrating his Melbourne Cup victory, because this horse can sit outside leader and can win. That is Remedies. Looks a very nice horse from Godolphin. All right, we'll get stuck into the Cranbourne Cup, race 7, 1,600 metres, listed event. Any early thoughts before we get stuck in, Matty?
Well, just as you mentioned before, I think there's going to be a fair bit of pace on in this race. I think you're going to find 4 horses I've got Matt going forward in No Effort, Buffalo River, Buckhurst, all those from 3, 4 and 5, and then probably No Surrender crossing over to make 4 of them going at a decent tempo. So that's where I see the pace coming, and I think we will be going at a decent pace.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Your inside draws of Buffalo River and No Effort are going to kick up. No Surrender will lead at any cost or sit outside. Call Sign Mav will have to go forward. Cross Haven at 15 will have to go forward. Light Sabre at 12 will go forward. So there will be pace. But one thing I do note with this track, out the back, the 1,600 metre, it is a long straight along that back side. So they'll string them out. I'm not worried about barriers, because they will find their spot eventually. You don't have to rush. You just find your thing. From horses 1 to 8, they're going to be spread right out, because Buffalo River will go like the clappers. Ollie on board. So Cranbourne 1,600, no issue with outside barriers. All right.
So just for those, I don't think realistically, there's not a lot of racing that Cranbourne especially listed quality. Remind me, they start off in the chute, do they? And they go all the way down the back straight. One call.
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's like they go a little left turn when they get onto the course proper. But there's I think it's just I love betting 1,600, 1,400 Cranbourne, because outside barriers are no issue. Like, unlike Moonee Valley, Caulfield, Flemington, you're on the turn and start turning. Where here, you just jockeys don't have to shit the bed. That's for sure.
It's good to know.
So the Mitsubishis might be a chance. Number one here.
Claims in this one. No claims in this race.
No, but yeah, I'll stop there. Call sign Mav, barrier 10, Jamie Mott, 61 kilos, $13.
Coleslaw Mav, look, it did look like he enjoyed Mooney Valley last start, and the smallest straight here at Cranbourne might be a bit of an issue. 61 kilos, Jamie Mott on board, not ideal for mine. Look, I've got it as the best rated horse in this field, and the data backs that up. So it's a length better than any of these other horses. However, I just don't know how well it's travelling after it won that Group 1. So for me, I think even though the data suggests it's the best horse in the race, the weight Jamie Mott on board, it's probably going to get somewhat a little bit further back. Let's just say midfield. Probably not one that I'll be really pushing people into.
I think you make a good point on the fact that its best is good enough to win and is better than these. But my thoughts on this horse, I know this horse won a Group 1 being just off the speed, but I feel its best racing has to be up on speed. Has no turn of foot, just grinds away. From barrier 10, I've mapped this horse right behind the leaders, which is perfect. 2 starts ago, I'd forgive, as I think the tongue got over the bit. And then last start, just had the perfect run in transit, and it just gave nothing. Either it wasn't in the A ground or that was an end of prep run, because it won a Group 1 on heavy track, so you can't blame the conditions. Number 2, Just Folk, Harry Coffey, barrier 1, $9, 59 kilos.
I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, William, just on barrier number 1 at Cranbourne. So I'll get that off you. But its last run ran wide with cover at Flemington. Hit the front with 150 to go, but just got run down by, I think it was Bartholomew Dios across the last, call it 50, 100 metres. Look, I definitely have it within my top 4. Whether it's going to get into the betting strategy, barrier number 1, I feel like it's going to be a disadvantage, and it's probably going to need some luck. So, Worm, your thoughts?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Barrier 1, it's like the athletics. Shortest way home, barrier 1. That's how I see it. But yeah, Cranbourne, you can be it's like Mooney Valley a little bit. You can be bloody unlucky. If you're right behind the leader, you're a chance of getting a run, because they just sort of fan on the corner. No one really hugs the rail well. But if you're 2 pairs back, where I think this horse will be, you're going to need some luck. So my thoughts on the horse, as you said, I think the barrier got this horse beat last start. Nothing Huey could have done from barrier 12. It was a terrific effort. Just went down on Cup Day. Yes, I was on, so I'm still bleeding. I think the 1600 is a perfect for this race. I think 1800 last start, just saw him out. Form reads really good for this, but barrier 1, you're gonna have to wait for the luck, but it doesn't have to do much work either. So there's positives and negatives to it, but it could be 2 pairs back. Just hope the gaps appear. Number 3, Buckhurst, John Allen, barrier 5, 56.5, $41.
I only one winter run, one spring run, and off those I can't have Buckhurst here, so I'm not going to add too much more. I think it'll be on pace, and it will be one of the first beat.
Yeah, find this horse hard to recommend. Trainer and any of Lloyd's horses are going like busted. Don't know how this horse can improve off its last start. No. Number 4, Buffalo River, barrier 4, D. Oliver, 56.5, $14.
Liked its on speed run at the Valley. Fought on well for, it was 3rd or 4th. Look, I see it sitting on speed here. I don't necessarily want to be on a horse that's sitting right on the speed in this race, so it'll be a pass from me.
I hope everyone's enjoying my my facial expressions. I'm watching the cricket in the background, and while you're talking, I won't explain what just happened, but 100% agree with you, mate. Perfect. I thought it was bloody magnificent last start. I thought he might have been back to his best. Ollie did everything right, letting this horse roll. But I think his best racing's on soft to heavy. If this track goes to good, which I think it will, I can't recommend this horse, but it will set a fast tempo, will be catch me if you can tactics. You're going to be in it a long, long way. That's Buffalo River. Number 5, our Playboy, barrier 2, Ben Mallum, 56.5, $8.
You go back 2 starts, our playboy here ran home well at Sandown. Should be able to sit closer from barrier at number 2, probably just on the outside of Just Folk. I don't think it really wants to get too much further back than that from barrier 2. Otherwise, it'll be no chance. If it does sit closer, which I've got it mapped, I think it is some chance, but similar to Just Folk, he's going to need some luck.
Yeah. I feel this horse needs the soft to heavy tracks he's produced his best on. It's been getting too far back due to bad barriers and maybe poor tactics too. Did nothing last start, but an inside draw, as you said, will improve. Went down by 0.5 in last year's Cranbourne Cup on a heavy 10. Barrier 2, I just wonder if it gets pushed to the rail and could be 4 pairs back behind Just Folk. That's my only negative. Number 6, Uncle Bryn, Mark Zara, barrier 8, 56 kilos, $4.80.
Interesting runner, Uncle Bryn. It was really impressive in the Sale Cup. And look, I can probably see it getting back similar and running on. Is this the track that you want to be getting that far back on and running on to actually win the race when you've only got a 250-meter straight? I'm probably not willing to find out at $5. However, I'm not going to talk people out of it after its last win in the Sale Cup. Mark Zara on board, decent gate. Again, I just don't like the mapping in this race. William?
Yeah, I'm with you a bit on the map. It could be near last. But 7th up for this prep. Don't get me wrong, you take the Group 1 2-rack out. It's been an awesome prep. Last start was too far back and hit the line well. Positive jockey change, but on a 7-day backup with a float trip to Sydney and back, I don't like that. This is an end of prep run. This is an afterthought. We've spoken about that before. Taking this horse on win and place. Number 7, Ironclad, Ethan Brown, 55.5, barrier 13, $10.
Yeah, not the worst here. Ironclad. I liked its last start at Flemington, ran on exceptionally well. What I don't like here is I think it's only got one option from barrier number 13, and that's to cross over, and it will be last. So for that reason, I won't be with Ironclad.
Yeah, you make good point. Poor barrier last start and was first up. Had no other option but to go back to the rear. No horse took him into the race, was held up a touch, worked the line well, nice gap to 4th. But my worry is it's going to happen again for this horse. Poor barrier will be near the rear. Plus, Mark Zara has been celebrating the cup, as I said before, with the Vic. Oh, no, I've got that wrong. It's Ethan Brown. Sorry. But what the hell have I done there? But yeah, I just think he's going to be at the back. I think the colours have thrown me. Melbourne Cup. Yeah, he'll be out the back. No one's going to really take him into the race, so it's hard to recommend. But if he drew a barrier, I would be with this horse. Number 8, Crosshaven, Jake Noonan, 55 kilos, barrier 15, $26.
Interesting to see what Jake does here from the wide gate. I think it'll just try and slot in within the first half of the field. But look, based on its last run at Flemington, I can't have it here. I don't necessarily know if the horse is going super. So it'll be a pass from me on Crosshaven.
Yeah, I think Crosshaven's a bit like Ironclad here. Sat on a suicide tempo from a wide barrier, and it might happen again here from Crosshaven, barrier 15. Put up the white flag with 300 metres to go, so that's not ideal, and I cannot be with it with those thoughts. Number 9, Visionary, Daniel Moore, 54.5, barrier 7, $4.80.
Look, you mentioned a few horses that have had afterthoughts to come here. I don't think Visionary is one of those. Third up, I think its last start at the Valley never really got going. Maps exceptionally well here. I think it'll probably just slot in behind Belle Plaisir, and it should have some cover. It'll be able to sweep out on the corner, and a lot of upsides. So I can definitely see how Visionary is around the $5 mark. Worm.
Yeah, if you're a weights man here, He's going to really tickle your fancy here. 6.5 kilo swing on Call Sign Mav, 2 kilo swing on Buffalo River. Um, Finished alongside Banker's Choice, who should have finished a lot closer to the placings if it had clear running in Champion Stakes last Saturday. This horse will be midfield, maybe 3 wide, but will have cover. But third up, looks like this is a plan for this horse. 3 weeks between runs off a huge figure. I really like that sort of setup. That is Visionary. Number 10, No Effort, Mick D, 54 kilos, $19, barrier 3.
Look, I see this is one that'll be on speed alongside Buffalo River and Buckhurst. I can't have it over 1,600. I can't make a case for it. I think it'll be one of, again, similar to Buckhurst, one of the first beat of the leaders.
Yeah, it had a really good winter campaign. Hasn't had a run since August 27th. No jump outs. Will sit on speed, I feel, but hard to recommend with no jump outs. But I'm definitely not going to question Gavin Bedgood as he is going airborne. Number 11, Bella Placia. C. Williams, 54 kilos, barrier 6, $11.
Look, got shuffled back last start at Flemington, and I see it sitting off the leaders. So I see this map being absolutely perfect for it. It'll probably be sitting 5th, probably one off the rail, and it should get the run of the race. Maps exceptionally well. And at around that $11 mark, I think it's one that I'm going to need to find out if it's good enough to be winning this race. I can forgive what happened at Flemington. It battled on exceptionally well after it got shuffled back at the 300-metre mark. However, here, just with the mapping, I like the fact that it's going to get the cover and be able to peel out around that last short bend. So, Worm, I think Belle Plaisir is definitely going to be in my selections.
Looking at this horse last start, sat second, and the leader left it for dead on the corner. Looked like it was going to drop right out, and this horse never gave up. Was only 1 length off Le Creek. Yes, I'm a big fan of Le Creek, but just a 1 length off it in a Group 1. Willow goes on board. Good barrier. Will be midfield. Sitting outside leader wasn't ideal last start. Best racing when it's midfield. Big tick this horse if you like it. Number 12, Sosibon, barrier 11, Geordie Childs, 54 kilos, $31.
The way it's been racing, I can't have it here. Look, it hasn't been too bad a preparation, but it'll be a pass for me.
Been an okay prep. Thought it should have gone a lot better last start. Had all the favours. Hard to recommend off last start. And the barrier it has for this race. Barrier 13, Lightsaber, Blake McDougall, 54 kilos, barrier 12, $31.
Again, not too much I can say on Lightsaber, so it'll be a pass.
Yeah, hard to find a positive for this horse. I think they've left a 0 off the price. Flash R, barrier 14, Craig Newitt, $20.
Yeah, look, the Sale Cup run wasn't too bad behind Uncle Bryn. It wasn't a sensational ride from Froggy. So, look, not without a hope from barrier number 14 at 20s. However, I can't have it in my betting strategy. I do see it as the best outsider within the race, though.
Yeah, I thought it could have pushed the winner last start at the Sale Cup, as you said, Paul Ride Froggy, with any luck. Run was good, but I find it hard for this horse to turn the tables on Just Folk in the Seymour Cup at Bendigo. Beating a fair margin for this horse. Could be last, giving them a head start. They might have to cut the corner to be any chance. Number 15, No Surrender, Bo Mertens, barrier 9, 54 kilos, $51.
Yeah, again, another one that we mentioned that'll be on speed. And look, I think No Surrender will be surrendering. Again, I think out of those 4 horses I've mentioned going forward, 3 of them are going to really struggle across that last 200 metres.
Yeah, 100%. trainer Jack Lang, his father is Robbie Lang. So I think this is a father like son setup. Let's give this horse absolutely none, way out of its grades. Been in benchmark 64s and 70s, coming out of the country race at Flemington. Should be 5,000 to 1 the price. It is a clear no, shouldn't be running. Betting strategy, Matty. How are you spending $100?
On top, I've got Visionary, and I'll be spending $60 at fives to win 300. And then we'll go Belle Plaisir with a remaining 40 at 11s to win 440. So one of those two get up, it should set up the day quite nicely. William, how did you see it?
I'm with you with Visionary. Same thing, $60 on to win 300. I'm going to then go 40 Just Folk. I've got to go again. Yep, I know there's a lot more negatives than positives, but 40's at $9. I think that's crazy odds to win 360. So going to be around the same mark to win the same amount, which I like to do. But I'm definitely not going to disagree with you on Bella Plaisir. If there's a scratching, it definitely goes into my final numbers. I reckon you can have those three only in your quaddy. Safe to say. So yeah, that's the Cranbourne Cup there, guys. Hopefully we have steered you into one of those three we like. WhatsApp, please, if you want to get involved, DM, because it is dead set running hot. I can't talk more highly of it, probably because more of me, of what I did on Saturday in the tab promo. We took them to the cleaners, which was good. I think we 3 out of 6 we went, but $10 winner, $5 winner, $2.40 winner. So it was a fill up. We backed Solcombe. That was our only play for the day on Saturday in the units category. So that was another fill up. Been a good start to the week. And as we're recording, John just thought I'd drop a multi in front of us that just went bang. So community's running hot. Plenty of tips going on. So if you want to get involved and make it a stronger community, DM one of us and we'll get you involved as, yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you're a sicko like all of us,
I'm sitting in meetings at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'll see Johnny send through a multi and 3 minutes later, bang, bang, fucking bang, bang. Wow, John's done it again.
Yeah, I just like he's just sent it now and he's, what was it? Napoli to win 1-0, 2 or 3-0 and
Napoli,
Athletic. Yeah, 1, 2 or 3-0. And then he's just gone to Ascot just to round out the 3-legger. And then one of the guys on the community was dead set buying a brand new car. If it lobbed, I don't know if you saw it, Matty. 3-leg multi.
At Hawkesbury at $27.
Yeah, got beaten an absolute pimple.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it was sickening. Oh, no. I even started cheering at work while watching it for him. Yeah, it was a fat result, and geez. But you could have backed the other 2 legs and had a fill up. I think he's still in the fetal position after that result.
I'd be back the $3 one and the $10 one outright.
Knowing him quite well, no.
Okay.
So Joel, sorry mate, but we're throwing you under the bus. So yeah, DM us if you want to get involved, guys. It's a good community. And even I was punting on the dogs Saturday night, sent 1 tip, 1 winner. It was the last race in the Meadows, and I'm going to do it again this Saturday at Sandown, Saturday night. So if you want to get involved, I will do the form for Sandown Greyhounds. Around the grounds, Matty, where do you want to go?
After the Cranbourne Cup, we'll go race 8. Really interested to see how this horse Midwest comes back after a break. It's had 3 really solid jump outs. Solid first up form, and I see it being right in the finish here. So Midwest, it's around that. It's around about $2.50, $3.
Yep.
So I will be involved with Midwest. Then we'll be going up to Sydney. Now, we mentioned Pale King a little bit earlier. There was a horse that was scratched just before the jump, King Frankel. It was one that I had a saver on, so it wasn't too disappointed to get my money back for that and watch Pale King win. But King Frankel in race 4, I liked it last weekend. As I said, I did have the saver. My money was on Pale King. But King Frankel here at $3.10, I will be on.
Was that heavily supported last Saturday from memory?
It was getting me exceptionally nervous. I thought I'd picked the wrong one, the wrong King, Pale King and King Frankel. But, yes,
No,
scratched at the game.
I was on Pale King as well, and I was listening in the car, and I just remember saying there was a bit of money for King Frankel, whatever it is. Yeah, okay, yep, love it. So if you listen to this before Thursday, race 1 Pakenham, you're going to get an absolute steal here. So race 1, number 9, Community is already on. New York Hurricane. Been in some hot maidens this prep and running on in all 3 runs. Now draws barrier 1. I feel it can camp behind the leaders. It pings the gates, and for some reason, Froggy and Maskill were just putting a hold on it. Now, barrier 1 camps behind the leaders, and it's $6 into 360 without a scratching. Money talks. This camp bets. I don't like it because the camp has betted, but the Community's on at 460. $6 into 360, no deductions at the moment. This horse is ready to rock and roll. So that's race 1 Thursday, number 9, New York Hurricane. I still think 360 is a good price. Then we're going to go Cranbourne, race 4, number 4, Greece. Been waiting since it's Geelong win. Barrier 1 should find the lead. Prove way too good for these. Firm track will suit. $1.85 looks a good price and could easily start $1.50 on Saturday. That's race 4, Greece. Multi, Matty, what are you going to chuck in the award-winning multi?
We went 2 from 4 last week, and it was Animo and Nature Strip that let us down. Who would have thought? This week it will be King Frankel Place and Midwest the Place. So I think both of those are paying around $1.50 each.
Beautiful. I'm going to chuck Visionary in the win because we both like it. Let's put the odds up. Let's get a bit of juicy price into this. And I'm going to chuck Greece in. I think it just wins at $1.85. And all 4 come to $20 for the 4-leg multi. Midwest the place. King Frankel in Sydney the place. Visionary the win. Cranbourne Cup. Greece race 4 win. Pineapple of the week. Jeez, this is hard to do on a Wednesday. I've had sleepless nights over this. What to do? I was even studying the noms. That's how eager I was. So I've landed on Cranbourne, race 2, number 2, Dunkell. I know it's $1.75. It's not everyone's cup of tea, this price, but this horse is a serious, serious horse. Go and have a look at its win at the Valley on a heavy track 2-3 weeks ago. It was bloody impressive. Jockey got off and said it didn't handle the heavy conditions, and it still pissed in. Wow. Now on a better surface, look out. That's race 2, number 2, Dunkell. If you don't want to back it, chuck it in your multi. It is a dead set lock. Can't wait. Could start $1.40 against these mob. Race 2, number 2, Dunkell. Anything else to add, Matty?
Mate, looking forward to a Saturday down at Cranbourne races. So it should be very interested. Nice to see a listed race down there.
Yeah, it is. They deserve it, even though the track can be quite leaderish on a Friday night and hard to get involved at. But as I think this time of year that every club deserves its chance of a Saturday. Your Pakenhams, your Ballarats, your Cranbournes. I think they're not country tracks anymore. They're close to metro tracks. Yeah, good luck to them. There's a free promo code going around for free tickets if you want it. Let me know if you want to get involved. And that's the thing that last night when that code came through, if you're a member, you'd have to be seething that you pay for a membership and there's free tickets going for the public. I don't know. It's just me. You pay your membership, and it's not cheap at Cranbourne either. And they're giving $35 tickets away for free. Looking
Oh,
after their
make sure-
members.
Make sure you DM Worm if you would like a free ticket for this
Yep.
weekend.
Just
And next weekend, we're off to Ballarat for another listed race.
Yep, and then we should be Sandown Cup afterwards, maybe.
Yeah. Old, is that Zipping Classic Day? It
Yes.
feels like it's a little bit later than usual.
Sandown Cup Day at Caulfield.
Yeah, it feels like it's a little bit later than usual.
Yes. Yes, definitely. I think, and this is just me thinking out loud, they're putting it there to test it for maybe the Caulfield Cup going there.
Oh, gee. What, the end of the carnival?
Yep. I know absolutely nothing. So don't say I know something, anyone out there. But they tried to move the Caulfield Cup during COVID to that date. They were unsuccessful and they pushed really hard the MRC. They were dirty as when they got rejected. So they thought, let's move the Sandown Cup, see the pools, see the horses. And Spanish Mission was their draw card last year when we were straight out of COVID. Yeah, I just think they're trying to move the Caulfield Cup.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's got legs. I think it can work, but I'm traditional. I like where it is and what it does and where it sets up. But yeah, watch this space in the coming years when the track's upgraded and facilities are all ready to go. You might be seeing a move in the Caulfield Cup. That is just me, so don't say I don't know anyone or anything. It's just my idea and my thoughts.
All right, has TAB got to mark it up for us?
Yeah, I should ring. I'm sure they'll have a novelty bet soon. I'll probably get about 50.
Guess the date of the Caulfield Cup in 5 years' time. I like it.
Yeah, and then I'll be done for. I'll be investigated for integrity issues. But no, that's just my thoughts. We'll talk about it more when it comes up. As we said, Cranbourne Cup. Good luck to all club for it. Hopefully, you get good weather, unlike last year. But anything last to add, Matty, before we sign off?
No, mate, that's all for me.
No, I am done. I've just got a message from our mate. He wants to have one last say, so we'll throw to him for the final say. Hopefully fill your pockets up. More importantly, we hope we fill your pockets up. We'll be back next Thursday for Ballarat Cup Day. All the best, punters.
I'm not a good person, but it just goes
This meeting is being recorded.
do happen to bad people. So anyone out there who's up against the wall, fucking stick to it. Every cent you got, your rent, your electricity bill, if you're going to buy your missus a ring, don't fucking do it. Keep punting. Keep fucking punting.